Howdy everybody. Now we're going to do the same thing now for minor scales, and just for Dorian and Aeolian. And just a quick reminder, from 1 to 2 for an Aeolian, and we'll focus on that, and then we'll make a quick change. And as y'all I'm sure remember, the Aeolian and Dorian, only thing different is the 6th note in the scale. And so once we get Aeolian, we can apply that to Dorian and all will be smooth sailing. And so here we go. For Aeolian minor, our first is going to be a whole step. Then from 2 to 3 is our half step. 3 to 4 whole. 4 to 5 is a whole step. And then here from 5 to 6 is a half. 6 to 7 is a whole. And 7 to 8 is a whole step. We talked about this extensively, maybe and even maybe too much, I don't know, in other videos, but I hope it's helpful. So if this is foreign to you, please check back on with those. But we're going to move ahead a little bit more quickly now. So let's build some scales using this Aeolian minor scales. Aeolian. Okay. And this is like your common minor. Most people just say minor, especially in like the folk music world, bluegrass world. If you hear the word minor, you're usually talking about your good old friend Aeolian. So here we go. Let's start with 1, and we're going to first we're going to build A minor. So A, and then we're going to take a whole step to a B. So our 2 note is a B. Half step up to 3, which B to C. So C is a half step away from B. C is our 3rd. Then a whole step up to 4. C, jump over, whoop. Whole step to D. I'll put it over here, try to stay a little bit better line. And then, so that's our 4. To get to 5, we take another whole step, whoop. To get to E. So our 5 is E. Then a little half step to get to our 6th note. So E to F is a half step. F is the next one. So our 6th note is F. Our 7th note, we're going to take a whole step right there. Whoop. To G is 7, which takes us back to a whole step. So we jump over the G sharp, A flat, and come back to the beginning to A. And that is your handy dandy A minor scale. And so things like Jerusalem Ridge, Shady Grove, just pretty much just pick your minor tune in a folk tradition, and this will be at the heart of so very, very many of them. And so we can do this for all of the minors that you'll commonly use. Now we're just going to go through the ones that are played in jam sessions and the common ones. Now remember, same way for major scales, you can start on any note here and apply this pattern, which means that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different minor scales. You can have a C sharp minor, D minor, D sharp minor, E minor, F minor, all of them, okay? But we're just going to stick with the ones that I think will be the most use to you, but please feel free to learn all of them, okay? So A minor, super useful. Next, B minor. So when you start in B, your 2 will be jump up a whole step to C sharp. 3 is D. 4 is E. Oh, sorry. 4. The 4 does become E here. Whoop. Look at that E. Gorgeous. All right. The 4 is E. The 5 becomes F sharp. The 6 becomes a G. 7, A. 8 is B, because we start the cycle back over. C minor. So we've got C, excuse me, C, D, E flat, because that's just a half step up on the 3rd note. So we're starting C, 1 whole step, and then the half step up to our 3rd note. E flat, and then F is 4. 5 is G. 6 is, we're going to say A flat here, but you could also say G sharp. A flat, and then that takes us to B flat, which takes us back to C. C sharp minor, we'll do that one. So C sharp minor, we start there, and then we the first one will be a D sharp. This one will be an E. This will be an F sharp, G sharp, A, 6, 7 will be a B, takes us back to C sharp. And notice here this pattern. If your first note, the key note in your scale, is 1/2 step away, for instance, B to C, okay, every single one of these notes will be only a 1/2 step away from each other. So your second note will move up a 1/2 step from B to D, or sorry, from C sharp to D. And so then your third note out of B minor would be D, but to move it up to C minor, the third note is going to be moved up just a 1/2 step to D sharp or E flat, just the same way that B, to get from B to C, you have to move up a 1/2 step. So it just shifts everything up. Same way from C to C sharp. To go from C to C sharp, that's a 1/2 step. So how much sharper is each one of the notes in C sharp minor going to be than just regular old C minor? You guessed it, a 1/2 step up. So instead of 2 being D, we have D sharp. Instead of 2 being E flat, we boop, 1/2 step up to E, and so on. And so now we'll continue on here with D minor. And so 2 will be E, F, 4 is G, 5 is A, 6 is B flat, 7 is C, 8 is D. We're going to skip D sharp minor. It is important, but it's much less used than these others. I'll put a star or just a little mark here. So A minor, B minor, and D minor. Let's say the ones that you're most likely to come across in jam sessions out there. And then good old-fashioned E minor. E minor is a super popular one as well. So we're going to start out with E. 2 will be F sharp, 3 G, 4 A, 5 B, 6 C, 7 D, 8 comes back to E. F minor isn't used very much. F sharp minor, though, is used a lot in the more common keys and things that you play at or play in at pickings and gatherings and things. And so let's do that. F sharp, then G sharp, A, B, and then 5 is C sharp, 6 is D, 7 is E, which takes us back to F sharp. G minor, G, A, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, G. And since we're doing it, we might as well throw in G sharp minor as well. So G, sharp. Then we'll go with A sharp as 2. And then B is 3. C sharp is 4. And then D sharp, E, F sharp. That brings us back to G sharp. So those are our scales that are common. So I'd say what you'll run into the most are these guys right here. A minor, B minor, D minor, E minor, and F sharp minor. If you're wanting to just commit some of these to memory, I would start with those, but we'll also give you a trick. And so, and that's an idea of a relative minor. And so, really quickly, here's my fiddle neck. Let's just walk through an A minor pattern on this neck, Aeolian, and just to show you where these things lie. Okay, so if out of A minor, so we start on an A note here, we make a whole step up to here, and then to B, and then C is just a half step away, fingers touching, and then a whole step up to D here in between. And that takes us up to our next string, so instead of playing it here on the G string, we can just jump up to D, our D string, and continue on. So D, so far we've got A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, sorry guys, A, B, C, D, E, and then a half step to F, G, back to A, whole step to B, C, D, E, F, G, A, and then you could keep on going. So that's what that looks like. We could do a B minor for fun. We start here on B note, so this was G, A, B. So here's B. It's a B note. And then we go B, whole step up to C sharp, which takes us to the next string up, which is going to be D. And then E, F sharp, G, that makes it to the next string, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, and on up. Same way now with all of these. Patterns, it's the same spacings, just depending on, but there's going to be different finger patterns depending on which note you start on. Now, to turn these into Dorian, we're talking about this column here, the 6th column. Okay? The 6th note. So to convert Aeolian to Dorian, all you have to do is just make your 6 one half step sharper. Okay? So that's this column here. And so how that would look, let's do the A, just so you get a sense of it. Let's remember that it's all going to be the same except for the 6th note in your scale. So A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A. And might sound complicated. It has a weird name, but that's really all in the world that is. The Aeolian was Dorian. And that's the difference. And it keeps going up. Aeolian versus Dorian. E, F sharp, G, A. And same way in all the other keys. Okay? And so those are minors. And before you set out memorizing all this, watch this next video where we discuss something that'll hopefully make it a little bit easier. And you can use what you've learned in majors and apply it to more easily memorize minors, called the relative minor. Alright, thanks guys.